Hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay, and I'm the founder of World Changing Kids, and my pronouns are she and her. And today I'm super excited to be here with the awesome children in my Upstanders Academy session. This month, we've been learning about residential schools, and I am so excited to announce our special guest today, who's come in to talk with the kids and help us learn more, David Robertson, who is a Cree graphic novelist and author, who has published over 25 books in the last very short time. Actually, you will have to confirm that, but I think I'd read from 2009 only till now. One of your amazing books is When We Were Alone, the beautiful children's book that is so powerful and important. And now you're here to talk with us, and I can't even believe it. So with that, I will pass it over to you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Oh, it's nice to be here. It's nice to see everybody. Yeah, so my name is Dave, and yeah, maybe what I'll do is just talk a little bit about my work around residential school history and the impacts of that history. And I think one of the things that I've kind of come to understand more and more in the past 5 years even is how that history has affected me without even knowing that it was in my family, which is, I think that really speaks to how profound that impact is on Indigenous families. You know, how these things are passed down from one generation to the next. And I think, like, sometimes hearing personal stories helps to understand how that can happen, because I think it's, you know, as an adult it's hard to understand it, and maybe as a kid it's less hard because kids are smarter than adults. But you know how one person's experience can be felt by the next generation and the next generation after that, and then, you know, how to go about breaking that cycle, and how difficult that can be, and also how those struggles can provide some context for some of the struggles that we see people going through, and help us to understand how, when maybe people fit into a stereotype that we've come to understand or learn, you know, where those stereotypes come from, you know. And I think that is also a really important conversation to have, because people do struggle. And you know when I was a kid, one of the things that I learned about as a stereotype was of of a drunken Aboriginal person. And you know, it's a very surface level stereotype, and then you never really think to kind of dissect what that person might be going through, or to understand why that person might be struggling. You know, when you see somebody who is maybe intoxicated, you know, and to wonder what led them to doing that. A lot of the majority of the substance abuse that happens in First Nations communities is because of inadequate access to support to help them overcome trauma. And so if you don't have that sort of support, then you turn to things that will help numb that pain out. And it's usually not a very healthy thing to do, but it's a fact. It's a very sad fact of, you know, that happened to people in Indigenous communities across Canada, because we don't have access to the same sort of supports that people in urban locations or even rural locations have access to. You know, so it's like this big, it's almost like this big chicken and egg thing, you know, where it's like, you know, you put a people through over a century of trauma, and then you put them in places where they can't have the best opportunity to heal from that trauma, because they don't have, you've kind of marginalized them into places where they can't have access to healthcare or mental health supports or education, or all of these things. So yeah, it's a really complex, difficult conversation to have, actually.